Welcome to Caduceus Watch. I really just make up these hand symbols on the fly. You feel me? Hit that Naruto. Go ahead. But of course, the whole point of all these hand symbols, right, of a jutsu, is to channel your chakra through your body so that your imagination can become real. It's as simple as that. It's all Hermetic alchemy, right? It's all about literally you knowing that you as a spirit, you as a space, are creating your body so that your soul can connect with other souls. And now we're all vibing in one big vibratory pool of water that allows us to be aware and communicate ourselves into existence because we feel like connecting with spaces outside of ourselves. We already know in this series that this is why I, as Hermes Trismegistus, relay the message of you being an infinite individual with my Caduceus. We know that the Caduceus itself represents you as a spirit creating your body with nature. It represents how you create a spine that stabilizes your space by you using your internal elements, your internal emotions to connect with yourself in a way that supports your God. It supports your ego, right? It supports your idea of life. Now you're able to show up as an individual all day, every day, because you're using the Caduceus of Hermes Trismegistus to alchemize your spirit from nothing into something. And then that's the point of you knowing that everything is mental. That's where we have Tahuti, all right? We have a lot of lessons here from Mercury. And the whole point of episode 9 is for us to just correlate the internet real quick to everything we're talking about. Because the internet is on all this. Like everything that I'm saying, we can easily go on the internet and find it in the world and find how the internet has basically documented what I'm talking about in the world and how all these people from before I was chased are understanding and relaying information about the energies that my spirit has put out before my spirit has now come back. So now that I as a spirit have used my individual soul to rematerialize into this realm as a body that is labeled Chase Clarence Calloway. All right, so I'm a messenger from Mercury. My spirit built Mercury to stabilize how it connects with the universe. My spirit built Mercury as a simulation to make sense out of how it serves the universe. How does it give value to the universe? This is what it looks like. Okay, so this is the point of me as Hermes having the Caduceus being the messenger of God. All right, not of the one individual that controls all of us, but the messenger. I'm starting to get airy because I'm passionate about this. The messenger of you. You are God. That's the whole point of you realizing through water fasting, through deep water fasting, that you have been creating your lifetime up to this point. And now you can more consciously take responsibility for your power. Because the only reason people would believe that they were created by someone outside of themselves is because they believe that someone else has more power than them. And that in and of itself is creating your reality. The moment you're believing someone else has more power than you, that belief is making that vision real. Because there's either your vision, your imagination, or the imagination of someone else outside of yourself. And when you're born into a world where you believe you're the body and you start to get really lost in the body, you can very easily lose your spirituality because you don't believe in your own visions. You don't believe in your own spirit. You don't believe in your own space. Now you believe in the visions of the spaces that you're connecting to through the body. And then this is where people just get lost in infinite light, right? So the whole point is me as a spirit coming back here to show you how source consciousness actually works. Because everything from like the spiritual community, people hitting me up talking about like they're almost spiritual, they're really not, because they're still in that mindset of projecting at me that I'm a part of their idea of what life is. But then their idea of life is saying that we were all created by someone who's not us. So this is why it's so important. It's just so important for you to know that I created the Caduceus. As Hermes Trismegistus, I created the Caduceus to represent how all spaces create their own bodies. The moment you create your own body, that's why only your mind can animate your body. So notice, like, it's your body. You are in control of this. You're the one controlling your body. No one else is controlling your body. That's the point of you having your individual soul, your individual vibration. Okay, so this is where we can go on the internet and I can make everything make way more sense for us in terms of how my creations pop up in the world, because I'm the one who actually made them real just so that I could feel understood by something outside of myself. So these creations aren't even like big to me. Like I don't care about them. I had to make them to feel understood. So this is my cosmic role. I have to be here speaking on everything that I've done because it's like footprints left in the sand. It's all the vibrational ties of once you as a spirit express yourself, like that's who you are. So you can't run away from yourself. Like you can't run away from your soul. You can't run away from your body. These are all expressions of you. So this is why Hermeticism is about connecting with yourself. And this is how I'm connecting with myself. So we can see here the Caduceus. Noun. An ancient Greek or Roman herald's wand, typically one with two serpents intertwined around it. The two serpents represent your ability to project, your ability to connect with a space outside of yourself. The spine, the rod, represents your ability to connect with yourself. So that's your tree. And then the wings represent your ability to communicate. And that's your 3. That's you as a bird. So this is where the snake is your 1, the tree is your 2, and the bird, you, the spirit creating a mind, are the 3. That's the chi. So now you're the child of yourself. You're the child of yourself because you're giving birth to your own consciousness through your own space by synthesizing your ego and your soul together. Boom. Okay. That's alchemy. That's Hermeticism. That's Cymatism. That's everything we're on here. So we can see here then is carried by the messenger god Hermes or Mercury. My spirit built Mercury, and then my spirit is known as Hermes, the builder of Mercury. So that's the whole point of Mercury. Is a simulation where Hermes lives in the universe because it allows him to observe the universe, and then he gets called away from Mercury to relay messages to other simulations that need it. That's one aspect of my space. And then of course a representation of this is traditionally associated with healing. This is because it's all about alchemy. Again, like anytime you're thinking about healing, right, that's because you had something that was working a certain way, so it was alchemized a certain way. Your body was communicating properly, but now it went from being at ease, being a happy, harmonious vibration, to a discordant, diseased vibration. And now you're trying to figure out how to re-alchemize, realign yourself back into health, realign your spine, right? All that stuff that we haven't decolonized your face, that all you're saying Academy. It's all about you knowing that your body needs space to breathe and move chi through. And we live a lifestyle where we're just sitting, all right, we're just messing up our stuff, like we're not like moving, we're not getting blood flow. Like we are living in a society that's using my Caduceus here to create health problems inside of us. What does a Caduceus symbolize? The Caduceus is a symbol of Hermes or Mercury in Greek and Roman mythology. The Caduceus is a symbol identified with thieves, like the medical industry, because thievery is about communication, literally. So that's of course what they resonate with. That's what they see in it first. All right, it's about communication, but they see first thieves, merchants, and messengers, right? And Mercury is said to be a patron of thieves and outlaws, not a desirable protector of physicians. And that's how they see it, because that's what they are, right? Projection is perception. So when they are only stealing things from indigenous peoples, they're going to see the god of communication as the god of stealing things, because that's what they want to do to the god of communication. That's why they're using my Caduceus to sell a bunch of stuff that actually creates more health problems, or in general trying to get you to trust products that they can make more money off of, which of course means it has to work to a point, right? Like all these health products have my Caduceus on them, they work, you know, or else people wouldn't spend money on it. Of course, it's just about knowing that it's all alchemy, knowing that whatever they created and put my Caduceus on is them riding off of my frequency as a spirit, and they're trying to understand how to make nature work better, because they see that nature already works for us to be aware as humans and be here like this, have heartbeats and stuff, but they want to make it work for their imagination. So that's where Hermes is the god of all that, right? Alchemy, boom. So there's a lot about the Caduceus on here, but I just wanted to make this a simple, quick explanation on, especially just touching in on the internet, right? Like we can see all the pictures of the Caduceus here. Like cool, right? It's all medical, right? It's all about medicine. And this is because Hermes, as the god of communication, he's the god of alchemy, anatomy, just any structure that's built through communication. Like, that's Mercury stuff. Like, that's what I'm on as Metatron, because that's the whole point of being a spirit. You have to alchemize yourself into existence. You just do, or else you don't exist. And then once you alchemize yourself, you're good. You're an individual. That's what it means to be indigenous. The moment you believe someone else alchemized yourself into existence, you're not indigenous. That's where you get into light supremacy. That's where you get into religions. And then that's where you get into being lost in someone else's idea of who you are. And now you can only relate with how far someone else tells you to relate with them. And then that's, again, every system and this language and all this stuff. So I'm about to see you in the next episode, where we're about to get into a website that is actually using my property, and kind of how comedy they are in just how atrociously wrong it is. It's hilarious. I'll see you. Gang, gang.